Now she sat on cold steel steps beneath flickering lights wrapped in a torn shawl. The air smelled like old oil and dust. Around her, alien traders shouted prices in a dozen tongues. None looked at her twice. She had been called many things: seer, prophetess, voice of the stars. Now, she was just another ghost in the crowd. Her people were gone, wiped out by war, lost to time. She was the last, or so they believed. Vera could see things. Not clearly, not always, but sometimes she saw what others could not. A flash of fire, a ship falling from sky, a name whispered before it was spoken. Once the galaxy listened. Now they only laughed. She rose slowly, her body tired but her mind still sharp. Her eyes, pale and deep, scanned the market. Traders sold tech, food, even dreams. Some sold secrets. Vera had no price. No one wanted her visions anymore. She passed a group of lizard-like Goric merchants. They grunted at each other, ignoring her. Nearby, a floating jelly being drifted past without a glance. No one cared. A voice crackled from a nearby holopost. It showed a face, hers. The text read, "False prophet, do not listen. Dangerous, unstable." Vera looked away. She had seen that poster many times. She kept walking. Then someone stopped her. "Wait," said the voice. It was soft, calm, human. She turned. He wore a simple gray coat with earth markings on the sleeve. His hair was short, his face tired, but his eyes were kind. "I'm Jace," he said. "Jace Rourke." She didn't speak. Few did when they saw her. He tilted his head. "You're Vera, right?" She nodded. "I've heard your name." He said, "Back on Mars we used to talk about you, how you saw the fall of Thalzar before it happened." She blinked. That was true. But no one believed her then either, until it was too late. "You're not like the others," she said quietly. "No," he agreed. "I guess I'm not." He looked at her like she was a person, not a myth, not a tool, just someone who needed help. "Can I buy you something to eat?" he asked. She hesitated. No one had offered her kindness in years. "Yes," she said at last. They walked to a small stall. Jace ordered 2 bowls of soup. He handed one to her. She ate slowly. It was warm. Real food. Not scraps. "You really want to hear me?" she asked. "I, Teki," he said. She looked into his eyes, saw nothing but truth. She took a breath. "Then listen." And she told him what she saw. A ship, red skies, a man with a scar on his neck, death coming fast. Jace didn't laugh. He didn't walk away. He asked questions, smart ones, about time, place, symbols. He wrote notes. When she finished, he nodded. "I believe you," he said. She stared. No one had said that in a long time. "Why?" she asked. "Because I've seen enough of the galaxy to know that most liars don't sound this scared," he said. "And because I've met real monsters. You're not one of them." She felt something inside her shift, like ice cracking under. "Son," he smiled gently. "Tell me more." So she did. She told him of the visions that came like storms, of warnings ignored, of futures that twisted and changed. He listened, for hours. At the end, he leaned back. "There's something I need to ask," he said. She waited. "What do you see when you look at me?" She closed her eyes, reached into the flow of time, and she saw fire, a choice, a door opening. She opened her eyes. "I see hope," she said. He smiled. "Well then," he said, "guess we've got work to do." Around them, the galaxy moved on. Ships came and went, deals were made, lives changed. But here, in this forgotten corner of space, something new began. One human, one oracle, a second chance. Vera sat in a small room aboard Jace's ship. The walls were plain. Lights blinked softly. Outside the window, stars moved slowly. The ship was old, but it was clean. Safe. She had not felt safe in years. Jace sat across from her with a tablet in hand. He looked tired, but his eyes were sharp. "You said you saw fire," he said. "And a man with a scar. What else?" She closed her eyes. Her head hurt when she tried too hard, but she pushed through. "A hall," she whispered. "Big, full of voices. Then silence. Then screams." Jace wrote fast. "Where?" he asked. "I don't know," she said. "It changes. Sometimes I see more, sometimes nothing." He nodded. Not in doubt. In thought. "You've been right before," he said, "even when no one believed you." She looked at him. "You really think I can help?" "I do," he said. "I think your visions are real, and I think they're trying to tell us something." She didn't answer. She wasn't used to being trusted. Outside, the ship landed on a moon called Tarsus 6, a neutral world where diplomats met. A big peace talk was happening there soon. Jace was part of the Earth delegation. "This is where I work," he said, "and maybe where your vision comes true." She followed him into the city. Tall buildings rose like towers. Ships hovered in the sky. Robots cleaned streets. People from many worlds walked together. But when Vera passed, some stared. Some whispered. They knew who she was. "The Oracle," one muttered. "Crazy," another said. She kept her head down. Inside, the diplomatic center, Jace met with others. Talks were set for the next day. Peace between two war-torn systems. Vera waited in a quiet hall. Then she saw it again. The fire. The man with the scar. The fall. Her breath caught. She stood up fast. She found Jace in a meeting room. "It's tomorrow," she said. "At the talks." Jace frowned. "What is?" "The attack," she said. "It's going to happen here." Everyone in the room turned to her. One man, tall and green-skinned, spoke first. "She's not welcome here," he said. "We know who she is." "She's telling the truth," Jace said. "How do you know?" asked a woman in uniform. Jace looked at Vera. "Because she told me what would happen if we went ahead as planned," he said. "And now, I believe her." The room fell silent. Vera stepped forward. "There's a man," she said. "Scar on his neck. He'll bring fire. Many will die." Some looked scared. Some looked angry. "We can't stop the talks based on a dream," said the green-skinned man. "It's not a dream," she said. "It's a warning." Jay stood beside her. "Then let's check it out," he said. "Better safe than sorry." Security was increased. Names were checked. Faces were scanned. And then, just before the talks began, a man was stopped at the gate. Scar on his neck. His bag held explosives. He was arrested. No fire, no fall, just silence. And then, applause. Not loud, but real. People looked at Vera differently. Now not fear, not hate, hope. Jay smiled at her. "You did it," he said. "No," she said. "We did." He handed her a small device. "For now," he said. "You're coming with me." She looked at the ground. "I'm not used to people believing me." "Well," he said, "get used to it." Outside, the sun was rising, and for the first time in a long time, Vera felt warm. After stopping the attack, Vera and Jace expected relief. Instead, they got suspicion. The leaders of the peace talks gathered in a cold room with metal walls. Some were human. Most were not. Vera stood between them, silent. Jace sat nearby, watching closely. A tall alien with glowing eyes spoke first. His voice was sharp. "You say she saw the future," he said. "We believe in facts, not visions." "She saved lives," Jace replied. "That's a fact." Another leader, a woman from Earth, crossed her arms. "We can't just trust her because she got lucky once," she said. "I didn't get lucky," Vera said quietly. "I saw it." The alien with glowing eyes leaned forward. If you are truly a seer, he said, then prove it again. Jace frowned. You're asking her to predict something right now? He asked. Yes, said the alien. Something unknown. Something that will happen soon. Vera swallowed hard. She had never been asked to do this on command. Her visions came like wind. Sudden, wild, unpredictable. But now, all eyes were on her, waiting, judging. She closed her eyes, tried to reach into the flow of time. Nothing came. Her heart pounded. What if she failed? What if they threw her out? What if no one ever believed her again? Then faintly she felt it. A ripple. A shape forming. She opened her eyes. There's a ship, she said, above this city. It's carrying a cargo of food. But the engine is failing. She paused, trying to see more. It will crash, she whispered. In 3 hours. If no one warns them. Silence filled the room. Then the Earth woman turned. To a guard. Check it, she ordered. Everyone waited. Minutes passed. Then a message came over the speaker. Emergency alert. Cargo ship Tarsus 12 reports engine failure. Requesting immediate landing clearance. Gasps filled the room. The alien with glowing eyes narrowed his eyes. Still could be coincidence, he muttered. Jace stood up. No, he said. It's not. He looked at Vera. You did it, he said. She wasn't sure if she felt joy or fear, because now the galaxy knew she was real, and they wanted more. Over the next few days, offers came. Some were kind, some were not. A powerful AI empire sent a message. You will serve as our guide. In return, we offer safety and honor. A human colony offered gold and land. A warlord promised power. If she told him when his enemies would fall. Even the Earth delegation asked her to stay and help, but none of them asked what she wanted, only Jace did. They sat outside under the stars. You don't have to do this, he said. You're not a tool. She looked at the sky. They want me to see things for them, she said, but I'm not their weapon. No, Jace agreed. You're not. She sighed. But if I refuse, they'll stop believing me again. Jace smiled gently. Then, don't refuse everything, he said. Just choose who you help. She thought about it. Then she made a choice. She called the council back together. I won't work for any one group, she said. I won't be owned. Some looked angry. But I will help, she continued. If you come to me with honesty, not greed, not control. There was silence. Then slowly, some nodded. The Earthwoman smiled. The glowing-eyed alien gave a small bow. They weren't full believers yet. But they weren't doubters anymore either. Later that night, Vera walked with Jace. You stayed by me, she said, even when others ran. I saw something in you, he said. Not just visions. You, the person. She smiled. For the first time, she said, I feel like I matter. He grinned. You always did, he said. Now the galaxy just has to catch up. They kept walking side by side, one human, one oracle, two people who chose to believe. After Vera proved her gift, the galaxy came knocking, not just with questions, with demands. Jace watched as messages poured in from across space. Governments, corporations, warlords, all wanted a piece of her. They called her the Oracle again, but now it sounded like a cage. Vera sat in their small ship, staring at the screen. One message blinked red. Report to Galactic Intelligence HQ immediately. You will be given full protection and resources. Your visions will serve peace. Another read, join us, and we will rebuild your species. All we ask is your foresight. Even Earth's delegation sent a formal request. We believe you can help shape a better future. Please consider our offer. She closed her eyes. I don't want to be used, she whispered. You won't be, Jace said. Not if you say no. But saying no wasn't easy. Some offers were tempting. Safety. home, power. But all came with strings. Jace leaned back in his chair. They think you're a tool, he said. Something to control. I know, she said. I've been treated that way before. He looked at her. Then what do you want? She thought for a long time. Finally, she said, I want to help, but on my own terms. Jace smiled. That, he said, I can work with. The next day, they met with the leaders again. This time, Vera spoke first. I will not serve any one group, she said. I will not live in a tower or take orders. A human official frowned. You understand the value of your gift? He asked. You could stop wars before they begin. I know, she said. That's why I must. Choose carefully. The glowing-eyed alien from before narrowed his gaze. You expect us to accept this? He asked. No loyalty? No duty? No chains, she said. Only choice. There was silence. Then the Earth Woman stood. If she chooses freely, then I say we listen when she speaks. Others nodded slowly. It wasn't full agreement, but it was respect. Later that night, Jace and Vera walked through the city. I'm going to leave soon, Jace said. Vera stopped. What? She asked. I have other missions, he said. Other places to go. She looked hurt. You're leaving me? No, he said gently. I'm giving you something better. She didn't understand. He pointed at the stars above. You don't need me to prove you're real, he said. You already are. Now you get to decide who you are. She looked down, but I don't know who that is. He smiled. Then find out. She looked at him. What if I fail? Then you try again, he said. You're not alone anymore, Vera. You never were. She hugged him. It was the first time she had touched someone without fear. The next morning, Jace packed his things. As he stepped onto his ship, he turned back. If you ever need me, he said, just send a signal. She nodded. I'll see you again, she said. I saw it. He grinned. Then I'll be there. And with that, the ship lifted off. Vera watched it disappear into the sky. She was alone. But for the first time, it didn't feel like loss. It felt like freedom. In the weeks that followed, Vera traveled, not for power, not for money, but for people. She went to places others ignored. Refugee camps, broken colonies, war-torn worlds. She offered warnings, guidance, hope. And slowly, she began to heal, not just from the pain of the past, but from the fear of being forgotten. She was no longer just the last of her kind. She was Vera, the Oracle, free. Vera flew across the stars, not with an army, not with power, but with a purpose. She traveled from world to world, helping those who had no one else. Her ship was small. Her crew was just one, a pilot named Talon, a former soldier turned wanderer. He didn't care about visions or prophecies, but he believed in her, and that was enough. Their first stop was Colony 47, a farming world forgotten by the galaxy. Crops were failing. Rain had stopped for months. People were hungry. When Vera arrived, she walked through dusty fields and broken homes. Children stared at her with tired eyes. She closed her eyes. Reaching into time, a storm came to her mind. Rain falling hard. A river, flooding back to life. But only if help came now. She opened her eyes. There's still time, she said. We need to send a message. Talon helped her contact aid ships. They told them where to drop water supplies, where to plant new seeds. It wasn't much, but it was something. Weeks later, rain fell again. People cheered under the sky. Vera smiled. For the first time in years, she felt like she belonged. Next, they went to Rin Station, a floating city in deep space. It was filled with refugees, families who fled war hiding in the dark. Food was low. Power was failing. Fear ruled the halls. Vera walked among them. She listened. She didn't just see their futures, she heard their pain. One child asked her, "Will I ever go home?" She saw nothing. No vision. No sign. So she knelt. "I don't know," she said, "but I believe you will find a new home." The child hugged her. Later that night, Vera sat with Talon. "I couldn't see anything," she whispered. "I felt useless." "You gave them hope," Talon said. "That's more than most people do." She looked out the window. Stars blinked, like eyes. Maybe she didn't always need visions. Maybe she could just be there, and that would be enough. Then came Kale Prime, a war-torn planet. Two sides fought endlessly. No end in sight. Vera landed near a hospital full of wounded. Doctors worked without rest. Children cried without parents. She walked through the halls, saw death, saw fear, saw fire, but also peace. A moment, a pause, a chance. She found the leaders of both sides. They refused to talk at first. She didn't demand they meet. She simply said, "If you wait too long, there won't be a world left to fight over." That made them stop. She showed them what she saw: a ceasefire, a shared table, a future where children grew up without war. It wasn't perfect, but it was possible. After days of talks, they agreed. A truce. Not forever, but for now. And that was all she needed. As weeks passed, word spread. The Oracle travels, people said. She helps without asking for power. She listens. Children began drawing pictures of her. Old women called her name in prayers, not as a god, not as a weapon, as a friend. Back on her ship, Vera read messages from across space. Some thanked her, some asked for help. Some just said, "You made me believe." Again, Talon watched her read. "You're not just seeing the future anymore," he said. "You're shaping it." She looked at him. "I never thought I could do that." "You are," he said. "And you're not alone." Outside, stars burned bright, planets turned. Time moved forward, and somewhere in the dark, a voice once ignored now gave light. Vera was on a quiet moon when they came. Her ship had landed near a small village. The people there were farmers, builders, teachers, simple lives untouched by war or politics. She liked it here, but peace didn't last long. A shadow fell over the land. A fleet dropped from the sky, silent, dark, huge. They were called the Ziran Dominion, one of the oldest and most powerful empires in known space. Their ships didn't attack. Not yet. But their message was clear. "Oracle Vera, you will serve us. Refuse and your world burns." Talon ran to her side. "They're serious," he said. "We need to leave. Now." Vera looked up at the sky. She reached into time and saw fire, screams, ash falling like snow, but also choice. She could stop it, if she obeyed, or she could risk everything by saying no. The Ziran sent a delegation. 4 tall figures in black armor stepped off their ship. One spoke. "Oracle," he said, "you have seen what we can do. You know what is coming." Vera stood tall. "I see many things," she said. "Not all are yours to control." The leader tilted his head. "You will give us your visions," he said. "You will guide our fleets, our wars, our future." "No," she said. The air grew cold. "You do not understand," the leader said. "This is not a request." "I do understand," she said. "That's why I'm refusing." Talon tensed beside her. He knew what this meant. So did she. The Ziran did not tolerate defiance. They crushed it, but Vera didn't flinch. "I am not your weapon," she said. "I am not your tool. I do not belong to you." The leader stared at her. Then he raised his hand. Behind him, the ships powered up, weapons locked on the village. "Your choice," he said. "Serve us, or watch them die." Silence fell. Only wind moved. Vera closed her eyes. She reached again into time. She saw two paths. One. She agreed. She gave them what they wanted. For a time, peace. But soon, blood wars fought with her visions as maps. Billions would die. Second path. She refused. They attacked. Many would suffer. But something else rose. Hope. Rebellion. A voice that wouldn't be silenced. A symbol. She opened her eyes and smiled. No, she said again. The Xiran leader frowned. So be it. He turned to leave. But Vera spoke again. I won't help you, she said. But I will tell the galaxy what you are. He paused. You think they'll believe you? I don't need them to believe me, she said. I just need them to see. And she did. She activated every comms tower, every signal relay. She broadcast across space. Her face filled screens across systems. This is Oracle Vera, she said. I was asked to serve the Xiran Dominion. I refused. Gasps echoed through homes, ships, cities. I was offered safety for silence. I chose truth. The Xiran tried to cut the signal. Too late. I have seen your plans, she said. Your wars, your lies. And now, so has everyone else. Across the stars people watched, leaders, rebels, refugees. Even Jace far away saw her face and smiled. Because he knew, this wasn't just a warning, it was a beginning. The Xiran left. They didn't attack the village, not then, but Vera knew they would return. One day. But by then, she wouldn't be alone. Others were already reaching out, offering help, offering shelter, offering hope. She was no longer just a seer. She was a voice, a light, a storm waiting to happen, and the galaxy was finally listening. The galaxy changed. Vera was no longer a whisper in the dark. She was a voice that could not be silenced. After her stand against the Xiran Dominion, many came to her aid. Refugees, rebels, even former enemies of each other joined together, united by one truth. No one should control the future but those who live it. Her message spread like fire across the stars, and with it, hope grew. She returned to her homeworld. Once, it had been a place of peace and light. Now it was silent. Broken towers, empty streets, and wind that whispered forgotten names. But she didn't come to mourn. She came to rebuild. Not a temple, not a throne, but a school. A place where others like her could learn. Not just how to see the future, but how to live in the present. She called it the Sanctuary of Sight. It wasn't for rulers or warriors. It was for those who dreamed too loudly, who saw too much, who needed to know they were not alone. Students came from every corner of space. Some were human, some were alien. All were lost, until Vera showed them the way. Talon stayed with her for a time. He helped build the first halls. He trained guards. He kept the sanctuary safe, but he knew his place was not forever. One day he packed his things. I've got more roads to walk, he said. She hugged him. You'll always have a home here, she said. I know, he smiled. That's why I'm leaving. And he did. With a wave and a promise, he vanished into the stars. Time moved on. Jace returned once. He brought stories from far-off places. He told her how people spoke of her now, not as a prophet, not as a tool, but as a symbol. Some call you the voice of the free, he said. She laughed. I never wanted to be a hero. You didn't have to want it, he said. You just had to choose right. He left behind a small book, filled with Earth stories, poems, songs, jokes. She read it often, and sometimes when the night was quiet, she would write back. Letters, to a friend. Words of thanks. Memories made real. One day a young girl came to the sanctuary. She looked scared. Lost. I keep seeing things, she said. Things that haven't happened yet. Vera knelt beside her. So did I, she said. Once, the girl looked up. Did it scare you? All the time, Vera said. But fear doesn't mean you're weak. It means you care. The girl nodded. What do I do? Vera smiled. You listen, you learn, and then you choose what kind of person you want to be. The girl took her hand. Together they walked into the halls of the sanctuary. More students waited, teachers, builders, dreamers. The future was still uncertain, but now it belonged to those who lived it. On a hill outside the sanctuary, there stood a small garden. Flowers bloomed in colors unseen on any other world. At its center was a stone bench, and on it, a letter. It read, "Dear Vera, I don't know if you'll ever read this, but if you do, I want you to know. I'm proud of you. You gave yourself a second life, and in doing so, you gave others a chance too. You are not just the last of your kind, you are the first of something new." Jace Vera sat on the bench. She read the letter again. Then she looked up at the sky. Stars blinked like eyes. Planets turned. Time moved forward. And somewhere, deep in the heart of space, a voice once ignored, now sang,